In today's tutorial, we're going to explore the motion blocks. When we open up Scratch 3.0, we have our motion blocks in blue. We're going to go through all the motion blocks and check out what each of them does. Let's look at the first few blocks that we have. With our first block, it says move 10 steps. So Kitty is actually in a grid coordinate on stage. So move 10 steps means move 10 steps to the right. Since it's a positive number, it's moving to the right. If we change it to -10, then Kitty moves backwards, -10 as in going to the left of the stage. If we change it to 50, it's going to make big steps. So 50 makes big steps, and if we go -50, it's going to make big steps to the left. Turn 15 degrees clockwise makes the kitty turn clockwise from its original position. And if we change it to maybe 30, then it makes bigger turns. If we do anti-clockwise 15 degrees, it goes the other direction. If we change it to 30, then it makes bigger turns. Previously, Kitty was facing this side of the stage, but now it's looking over there. So now when we click on move 10 steps, Kitty is going to move 10 steps to the direction that it is facing. So if we click on it, Kitty is moving towards this direction because that's the direction that it is facing. Now let's go ahead and look at go to random position. These two are basically the same code block, except that this one has glide 1 seconds too. So now I'll explain first what this one does. So go to random position places Kitty at a random position on the stage. We also have the option to change it to mouse pointer. So since I have my code block when spacebar is pressed, Kitty is going to go to my mouse pointer. So it goes to the mouse pointer location. Kitty is just going to move right away to where my mouse pointer is. Now with this one, instead of going right away to my mouse pointer, it's going to take 1 second for it to come to my mouse pointer. So if we hit the space bar, it takes a little bit longer for it to come to my mouse pointer. So let's change it to 3 seconds. Then it takes forever for it to reach my mouse pointer. But we can also change the speed to maybe like 0.1, and it's going to go really fast. Super quick. So that's what's different between these two blocks. They're basically the same thing, except that this one has glide blah 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 seconds to the mouse pointer, whereas this one just goes straight to my mouse pointer. Now let's go ahead and look at these guys. Instead of going to a random position or where my mouse pointer is, this one goes to a specific grid coordinate. So if I want Kitty to go to the center of our grid coordinate, I can set it to 0, 0, and Kitty gets placed there. So for this one, just like what we did before, if we wanted to take 3 seconds for it to get to coordinate 54,61, then when we click on it, it's going to take 3 seconds for it to reach 5461. Like I said, since Kitty is in a grid coordinate, if I make her go 50 on the x-axis, it's going to go to the right 50. And if I make it go 50 on its y-axis, it's going to go up 50. If I go -50 on the x-axis, it's going to go to the left. -50 for the y-axis, it's going to go down. The maximum number of value that Kitty can go in its x-axis is 240 positive and -240. For the y-axis, the maximum it can go is 180 positive and -180 down. Now we have point and direction. What point and direction does is make Kitty face a different direction, kind of like what we did with turn 15 degrees. But we're just setting it to, instead of animating it, we're just setting it to face a different direction. We can set the cat to face -90. We can also set it to 0. We can also set it to 180. But notice how when we set it to -90, the cat is flipped upside down. If you don't want the cat to flip upside down, we can come to this direction button over here in the sprite panel. And we have 3 tools that come up. We have the all around, left or right, and do not rotate. So if we click on this one, Kitty is now facing the other direction. So instead of going more than 180 degrees, when it reaches 181, instead of flipping upside down, it flips to the other direction. And when we click on do not rotate, it doesn't rotate at all. So what this does is set the appearance to not be rotated. This means it's only affecting the outer look of the cat, but not its point and direction. So when we make it go 50 to the right, make it go 50 steps, it's not going to go this way, but instead it's going to follow its point and direction, which is this way. So when we click on move 50 steps, notice how Kitty is not going this way, but instead that way, because it's going according to its point and direction. Instead of having Kitty have a set point and direction, we can also make it point towards mouse pointer. So when we hit the space bar, Kitty is going to face my mouse pointer. Now let's look at these guys. Change x by 10 means change x by 10 from its original position. So currently it's on -84. Let's make it 0 so that it's easier for us to understand. So from coordinate 0, we want it to go x by 10. So 0 plus 10 is 10. So every time we click on it, it's going to go plus 10. So if it's in maybe let's say like 54 and we click on change x by 10, it's going to go 64. We can also go negative by hitting -10. So it's going to go 84, hit one more time, and it's going to go 74, 64, 54, 44. Instead of changing x by -10, we can also set Kitty to go to a specific value. We can make Kitty go set x to 0 and make her go to the center of the stage. The same thing applies for change y by 10 and set y to -8. So if we do change y by 10, so currently it's on -8, but it's going to go to 2, 12, 22. We can also set Kitty to go to a specific coordinate like 0. It's already on 0. We can make Kitty go to 100. We can also make it go -100. And it goes to the specific coordinate we ask it to go to. We have a few more blocks left. If on edge bounce. Now this one is a little bit fun to play with, so let's code it like this. So this is how we're going to code. When the spacebar key is pressed, it's going to go into a forever loop. It's going to move 10 steps, and if it reaches the edge of the stage, then it's going to bounce back. So let's hit the space bar and see what happens. It starts moving 10 and it bounces back when it reaches the edge of the stage. Now let's look at set rotation style. Set rotation style is basically what we had under the direction panel. It's the 3 options that we have: the all around, the left and right, and don't rotate. We are currently on left and right, so that is what we have right here. So you can either change it over here or use a code block to set the rotation style. We also have these round rectangle blocks that we can use for specific ones like this. So we can plug it in, and when we hit the checkbox, it displays our current X position. So Using this will allow us to see where our sprites are located in the grid coordinate of the stage. So that was all of our motion blocks that we have. We looked into each and every one of them and see how they run. For this challenge, I want you to script a scene where a doggy and a mouse are in the woods. The mouse is moving around and the doggy tries to catch the mouse. First, change the background to the woods. For the mouse, we want to first code so that the mouse starts moving when we hit the green flag. We want the mouse to be moving in a point in direction of 45 degrees, but still face to the right. You will have to change its rotation style to do this. Before we move, we want to check if the mouse is on the edge of the screen. So make sure to code that if the mouse is on edge, it bounces. And lastly, for the mouse, we want to place the 2 blocks of code in a forever loop, which is under the control blocks. For our dog, we want to get the dog to start running its code when we hit the space key. Code so that the dog points towards the mouse pointer. Make the dog glide 0.1 second to the mouse pointer. Lastly, we want to make the dog bark. So have a go and see if you can get it right. The answer key is going to be provided for you, so check it out after you finish the challenge task.